I beat the Sapienza level in Hitman with only my fists. That means no weapons, no gadgets, the only method of assassination or combat allowed is hand-to-hand. Oh, it's also in Master Mode, meaning that dying should be extremely easy. Our story begins on a park bench in a coastal Italian town. Agent 47 has been tasked with taking out 3 targets. Silvio Caruso, a stem cell researcher, Francesca DeSantis, another scientist who is the head of a team creating a deadly virus, and our final target, the virus itself, created by both previous scientists. I already had an idea of the path that I wanted to take to gain access to the mansion that all 3 targets reside inside of. I entered a small apartment building on the edge of the mansion where I knew a server of the mansion lived. After ringing his doorbell, I waited patiently for the man. He soon answered the doorbell and started shouting political nonsense at me, so I ended the confrontation with a quick jab, and neck snapping. After heading inside of his apartment, I was able to steal his kitchen outfit and head to the side door of the mansion. After only being on the grounds for maybe 15 seconds, I was spotted by a waitress as I snuck through a door. Knowing that having any witnesses this early could spell massive trouble later, I quickly took care of her. I had now successfully made it into the wine cellar of the mansion. Currently, Silvio and Francesca were above me and the virus below me. I had the option to go up or down, but I decided to look around the cellar to see what my options were before doing anything drastic. I eventually made my way into a laundry room where I was able to find an outfit for the house staff. This would allow me to move around the mansion without drawing suspicion. After walking around the first floor of the mansion for a while, I finally got close enough to see Silvio. Unfortunately, he was surrounded by a bunch of guards. There were way too many for me to simply stroll up with my fists clenched and start swinging. I maneuvered my way upstairs to the second level and found a bridge leading to an observatory that I knew Silvio frequently journeyed to. The observatory only has 2 guards stationed in it, and I managed to take each of them out silently, hiding their bodies in the process. Clearing out this area now would hopefully give me the chance to take out Silvio in the observatory, since it is possible he would bring less guards in with him. Thinking that maybe this place was one of his evacuation sites, I pulled the fire alarm. All this did was attract another guard who I quickly and quietly disposed of. After this, I realized that my plan had actually worked and my target had run through the observatory to get to where the basement was. Without thinking, I followed and walked through a locked door. A door that I could not open by myself, as most of the locked doors in Hitman require a key or a keycard to unlock. I could not pick up either of these. Anyways, I was now locked in the basement with around 20 or so guards, several scientists, Silvio, and the virus. The guard uniform that I had stolen did not allow me to move around this area, so I needed a new disguise. The options were not plentiful, and if I walked up to anyone down here, they would know that I was not in the right place. I eventually found a scientist who had wandered off from his post away from everyone, and was able to take him out silently, stealing his lab attire. I was now able to move around the area more easily, but many still knew that I was not supposed to be down here. I wanted to see if a guard outfit would work any better for me, so I headed inside a portable that was acting as a base for the guards. After seeing 2 alone, the number that you can easily take on with fists, I started swinging. The fight made way too much noise though, resulting in more guards rushing into the portable. I was getting worried, as fistfighting soldiers armed with assault rifles is not in my book of good ways to survive a Hitman level. My luck came through though when an assailant stepped out of the portable for a few seconds. This gave me time to change my outfits with one of the men on the floor and run out of the portable, with no one the wiser. After hastily traveling across the cave so that I could avoid the madness, I made my way into a back area. I managed to avoid being spotted until the last second. A guard who could not recognize me saw me making my way through a passage and began to give chase. Knowing that a confrontation at our position could be deadly, I quickly threw him off the scent. I then rounded a corner and saw a chance to take out a guard. If I managed to take out enough of the guards down here silently, it would make it much easier to find a way to destroy the virus. I started attacking him, not realizing that a scientist was standing next to him, and worse, another guard was positioned mere meters away from us. After snapping the first guard's neck, I ran to the second before he could fire a shot, and used my martial arts skills. But this was still not good. The scientist had gotten away, meaning that the rest of the guards in the compound would be on me at any moment. I rushed to the nearest crate, ready to hide inside, but saw that there was a door to the portable the virus was in. I could not open said door though, as I would need a keycard. While sneaking around trying to find a solution to my predicament, another guard discovered me, and I was forced to initiate combat to avoid more guards hearing the inevitable gunshots that would soon be fired. This was a lose-lose situation though, as another guard saw me start the fight. Luckily, he decided to search in the other direction, and I managed to follow a freaked-out scientist through the locked door, and now I was inside the portable. As I frantically searched for a way to get to the virus, all of the scientists began to run all over the place to get guards, meaning that time was quickly running out for me. In the confusion, I accidentally ran out of the trailer into a firing squad, taking several shots to the gut and almost dying before being able to duck back into the compound. That was when I caught a break. Since all the scientists had left the portable already and no guards had entered yet, I managed to change into a hazmat suit, giving me the ability to move around once again without the threat of being shot. After maneuvering myself around the cave for a bit, I finally figured out how to get to the virus, and I finally made it close to my first target. But now I needed a way to destroy the virus. I had the option to overheat the sample, destroying it, but I knew that this would result in everyone sounding the alarm. After finding no better options, I just went for it, and another hazmat suit wearing man opened the locked door, allowing me to escape the portable. After evading the many guards on the cave floor, I started my journey up to the first floor of the mansion, and then I remembered that the door I had come through was locked. Luckily, a scientist was making his way down the stairs, so the door was open. Unluckily, he was suspicious of me, and immediately started to run away. I took action and choked him out as he passed through the door. I choked him out in front of a security camera. I started jogging as fast as 47's legs could carry him, eventually making it to the observatory where my house cleaner's attire was still stashed. I changed into it and went back into the mansion, searching for a chance to take out my next two targets. I wanted to take out Silvio first, as I had already prepared the observatory for assassination. While making my way back to it, another security camera picked me up. Because I was wearing my house cleaner's outfit, they sent a single guard to take care of the intruder. I disposed of him and stole his clothes so that the security cameras would stop being suspicious. I then decided to observe Silvio more closely. I knew that he entered the observatory, but I wanted to know if there were any other good places to attempt murder as well. All that I found out is that Silvio is extremely awkward. Now I really had to take care of this guy. I managed to follow him and his two guards back into the observatory. This was good as I can easily take care of two armed guards. Not knowing what to do, Silvio watched in horror as I beat both of his armed guards easily before smacking him in the face and giving them the good old neck twist. Now it was time for the final target, Francesca DeSantis. She spends most of her time in an office on the third floor of the mansion. I was surprised to find out how easy it was to get close to her as I followed her and a few guards up the staircase leading to her office. Believing that my time with the challenge was almost over, I was surprised when a door slammed behind them. I walked up to the door, planning on opening it, barging in and showing off my master kung fu skills, only to find out that it was locked. My true arch-nemesis of this challenge, the locked door. Not knowing what to do, I began to pace. Using 47's instinct, I watched Francesca through the wall, but there was no knowing when she would possibly open the door. While doing this, I decided to see what the security in the area was like. Accompanying Francesca inside the room were around 4 guards. This was too many for me to feel comfortable just barging into the room. There were also several guards on the level that were outside the room. As I have proven previously, 2 guards are easily managed in combat. You can simply stun lock them and run back and forth between the 2 until they are knocked out. Finally, losing patience, I decided to act and knocked out a guard at the bottom of the stairs. This was a mistake as a maid had heard me and ran and told the guard. The guard on the stairs knew my face, and I had not snapped his neck yet, leaving me with no choice but to go back and finish the job, risking being seen. I was not seen by the guard the maid had ran to, but I was seen by one in the hallway. This kicked off what would be a massive fight. As I rushed upstairs, I ran into a living space opposite of Francesca's office and hid inside of a crate. But after seeing no one was around, I exited, only to open a door revealing a guard on the other side. I faked a surrender before taking him out. As I placed him in the crate to hide the body, another guard entered the room and started firing, so I took care of him as well. This was the beginning of an all-out war. I ducked and weaved around corners, strangling guards whenever I had the chance. I felt like the antagonist in a horror movie. One moment a guard would be surrounded by his friends, and the next, everyone around him would be gone. I eventually managed to sneak inside of my target's office, taking out one of her guards, but she managed to escape. I ended my escapades by taking out one last guard and then another waiter. After changing my clothes, I decided to go hide in a crate, but another guard entered the room as I entered the crate, so I had to take care of him as well. Finally, I had some peace and quiet, but it would be a while until my target returned to her office, so I did what anyone would do in my situation and left the game to go make some chicken. While off in the kitchen, Francesca re-entered the room with her entourage, only to run away immediately after seeing the countless bodies on the floor. A few minutes after this, I returned with my chicken and proceeded to begin eating as I waited for the target to return. She had not returned by the time I finished my chicken, so I decided to go find her instead. This is when I found her standing with 3 guards. Like a whirlwind, I took out 2, but the last guard and the target managed to escape. As I chased after them, I ran into another 2 guards who opened fire on me, but I easily took them out. I finally managed to make it into another crate where I decided to wait for the heat on me to die down. I took this as another chance to go make another piece of chicken, because I was still hungry. I sat back down and proceeded to eat this as well. Little did I know that this could have been a major mistake. While I was away, several guards returned to their posts in the room that I was currently occupying, and they had shotguns. There was a possibility that I could take all of them out, but I didn't really want to risk it. Hilariously, no one seemed to mind as a waiter who had been in a crate for 10 minutes next to them climbed out of said crate. After escaping from the guards, I made my way back up to Francesca's office. She was walking up the stairs with her one remaining guard. It was easy to take them out on the stairs as unarmed combat is an instant knockout compared to having to fight someone on flat ground multiple times. Now I had to escape, and I decided to go with the plane and cave because that was the closest, but I had to get the door open. After purposely attracting a guard with the use of a security camera, he opened the door for me. What a gentleman. And I repaid him by giving him a gentle massage. I took out another 2 guards on my way to the plane and slid down a pipe to the bottom level of the cave. After evading a final security camera and running past a guard, I jumped onto the plane, making my grand escape. And that is how I beat the Sapiens level of Hitman while only using my fists on the first try.